Charlie.
What's up, Taylor?
Dude, that nerd in his electric hybrid totally blew the light while texting his yuppie friends.
That's so bogus, bro. Are you hurt?
Yeah, like I can't move my hips, bro. I think I broke my pelvis, man.
Dude, no way!
Taylor, you need to drop a dime and talk with the lawyers at the Advocates Law Firm.
No way, can't afford that, bro.
Your crotch is broken, man, and they don't earn any money unless they win your case.
Dude, no way.
You get injured, the advocates get results. Contact them today at advocateslaw.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
What's up? It's your boy, The Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
Back to the conversation. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Coming up, your guess is as good as mine in categories: delicious seafood and Tom Hanks. We'll do your guess as good as mine after onion ring talk and the random question 206-421-ROCK.
Look, people have real strong opinions about onion rings. We did not know this before today. Some more comments. If you're looking for good onion rings, apparently the Grizzly Den in Hoquiam. They're saying the best. We use the Red Robin frozen rings all the time. They're delicious. The whole TGIF frozen food medley goes good in the air fryer. Van's Burgers and Lacey has awesome onion rings. We were saying we'd like to have onion rings. Someone says, well, DoorDash or Uber Eats will bring you onion rings right now.
Yeah, but what do you got to do? Like, order like 3 things of onion rings?
We can do that.
Okay.
It's 4 of us. Someone else says, are you kidding me? Goddamn Arby's has the best onion rings. Frisco Freeze has some grubbin' onion rings, too.
That's a good place in Tacoma.
And Skagit Valley Burger Express in Burlington / Cedar Woolley has the best burgers and onion rings, and they add deep-fried pickles. I know you don't like pickles, but they're amazing. Let's see. Regarding bad smells, you have the story of the guy.
By the way, I think there's a correlation between good onion rings and the restaurant that serves a fried pickle.
There probably is.
Yeah.
There probably is.
Because you're breading something that traditionally, you know what I mean? Like you're
should not even be eaten in the first place,
right.
Yes. Let's see. As far as bad smells go, someone says expired cottage cheese smells terrible. Someone else, what stunk? My farts after 2 cans of spicy chili and a pint of Ben & Jerry's. It was quiet, but woke my wife up.
2 cans of spicy chili.
Worst smell in the world, working at a landfill, and the tanker trucks come from the rendering plants. They'd come in and all the blood and crap chunks. 45 years, still can't get it out of my nose. Someone else says, after lung surgery, I started smelling so many different things. I could smell smokers walking down the hallway. The smell of aftershave was too intense. Some bitches about the smell of car exhaust. I agree, particularly diesel.
I think the worst smell for me as far as it affects my sinuses in my head, and this is back when you could fly, but someone will get a couple of magazines from Hudson News, and the bigger ones, like the female magazines that have all the
perfumes and everything,
in them.
yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're just so sharp to my nose. Like when they would open, I'd be like, oh, God. Oh, God, I'm going to get a headache.
All of them, man.
Yeah.
Like, it felt like every other page was a different advertisement for a different perfume.
CK this, whatever this. And the next thing I know, I got sinus.
Your hands smell like
right.
it.
It's like, oh, God, how am I going to masturbate?
Are you wearing Drakkar? No, I flipped through Cosmo at the dentist office.
Random.
Hello, Alex. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hey, guys, how's it going?
Hola. Okay, we're talking smells, Alex. I'm going to give you this one. Talked about bad smells. What is your favorite smell? What is your favorite smell? The one that brings you the best memories.
The interior of Southwest Airlines' old Boeing 737-300s.
That is the most random answer ever.
Very specific.
What was it about the smell of that particular airline and plane?
I have no idea, but I grew up flying only the Dash 300 my entire life since I was born in '99, and I only started flying their new ones ever since 2015.
And you can notice a difference in the smell.
Yes, I can.
You know what, man?
So it's a disappointing. Like a lot of people get on a plane, and if you look at that little pamphlet in the seat in front of you, you can read about the plane you're on, the year. But you're telling me you could walk on one of their planes and go like, "It's a newer model, doesn't have that old smell."
I could tell the difference between if a plane is older or newer simply by looking at the fuselage from the outside.
That's pretty impressive.
All right.
Yeah. Did your family work for Boeing?
No.
You just had a real interest in aircraft.
Yes, I'm what one would call an av geek.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's cool.
So,
A what geek?
As an aviation.
I absolutely hate new aircraft, modern aircraft. I don't like them.
Why do you hate them so much?
Well, for starters, their interiors are only designed to make you feel like it's spacious, but in reality, it's nothing. It's further from spacious. In fact, they're rather cramped. Also, their lavatories, you can't even fit like a 200-pound fat guy in there. They're so small.
I think 200 pounds at this point is not a fat guy anymore. It's just a guy.
What is the what's the thing that blew over top of my head yesterday about 30 feet in the air, and I looked up and went, oh, my God, it cast a shadow over me. It was a 777? Is that right? Is that what it said on the undercarriage? It was definitely a Boeing test flight. I was flying into Boeing Field. I looked up. It was just like this huge-ass cloud. I'm like, oh, my God. And I looked up, and it was just coming in low. You know, I'm down there and, kind of like in the Soto area, and I look up, and I'm like, oh, my God, man.
Can I some advice?
What's that?
Can I give you some advice real quick?
Yeah.
If you ever want to get a truly good airline experience, be it on any airline, where you have decent legroom, the seats are actually comfortable and not slimline, I recommend you fly on any aircraft built from between the decades of the 60s through the early 2000s.
Okay. Well, based on the seat space and everything else, yeah, we know it's got
In
a
my
lot more
experience
cramps.
with airlines, it used to be, for me, it was real simple. If Virgin Galactic or Virgin Airline,
Yeah,
right,
that was-
if they had a flight, I would book that. I mean, just the way you're treated, how smooth the operation was. I don't know if there was any more room or less room on that plane, but something about your experience made you feel comfortable.
It was much better. I mean,
And then they got bought out, and I'm like,
I almost cried when that happened. Reason we asked, what's your favorite smell? You guys got a favorite smell?
There used to be a lot of good ones. A favorite
I don't know if I
smell?
have a favorite one, but I mean, it's ones I like, and we all know what fresh bread, laundry detergent, any of that kind of thing.
How about like when you're sitting at the bar, when you used to sit at the bar, and then like two people over, someone would order of buffalo wings, and you get that initial smell of the vinegar
When
coming
they're
across.
fresh, yeah.
Yes, exactly. They're hot. You guys like that?
I feel like I'm more for smell-wise, it's got to be like pizza.
Okay.
But also,
Chicken wings I love. I just don't think of the smell of them.
But I
Sizzling
think
fajitas.
it's situational, right? So, like, most people like the smell of laundry detergent, and I guess it's designed specifically for that purpose, but the moment you're laying on fresh sheets is much, much better.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, so it already smells good, but when I'm laying in it, it's great. And what did you say? Oh, the sizzling fajitas? They smell good,
They do.
but I never end up getting them.
That's the problem. It's
I
never
get 'em-
going to
I
your
get them
table.
all the time.
Do you get them all the time?
Yeah, for years I got jealous when I saw them go by, and I just started ordering them.
You had enough.
Yeah, I just said I'm just gonna get fajitas.
Right, exactly.
I always also say grilling foods. Or
Yes.
like
Ooh,
if somebody's
yeah.
smoking or something. Like sometimes you can just smell somebody in your neighborhood cooking. I'm like, oh, that smells great.
Even
again,
just the
it really-
charcoal briquettes. Even if they're just lighting up a bag, man. You know
That
what I
smells
mean?
great.
Because you know
Yeah.
what's coming.
But like a fireplace, if you're outside and you smell someone else's fireplace, it smells great. But if it's in the middle of the summer, it does not smell as great to me.
No, it's
Yeah.
situational.
You know.
On the reason we asked, what's your favorite smell? There is a new fragrance called Eau de Space that literally smells like
Space.
outer space. Originally developed by NASA to prepare astronauts for what they'll smell once they're in space, and now being released to the public. Company said that originally they made the scent for NASA. They just launched the Kickstarter, and you can get yourself a bottle of this stuff for $29. You can smell like space. It comes in a cologne or perfume, and people behind it say you can spray it on yourself. You might wonder, what does space smell like?
What does space smell like, Miles?
I have heard different things that different astronauts have said, but what do they say here? I don't see if this lines up with what I have heard.
It's not the worst. It sounds like a man's soap. A mix of gunpowder, seared steak, raspberries, and rum. So it
Okay.
must be musky. You know
I've
what I'm
heard.
saying?
So
I'm in.
when the guys went to the moon, it's not that they opened their face shields to take a big whiff, but when they get back inside of their capsule, they can now smell what the outside of their spacesuits smell like. And they had mentioned like gunpowder or sulfur, right? So that's definitively there. As far as space itself, I don't know, but I have read that when you go to the space station, apparently for the first time, the one thing astronauts did not really anticipate is how god-awful it smells. Because, you're showering and all the rest of that kind of thing. It's done less frequently for obvious reasons.
you're not-
So it's
you don't-
armpit and fart. And they said when you get to, like, it could be the technologically superior thing, but you step in through that airlock and it smells bad. It smells like a teen boy's locker room. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, there's no way to ventilate it.
that's their point. So you recycle the air, but they said you have to understand, like NASA goes out of its way to try to come up with a diet for them that will not leave you flatulent, but inevitably you fart. And so whenever you fart, it doesn't go anywhere, man. I mean, it'll get scrubbed out a little bit when it goes to these filters, but it's an invisible
But doesn't
globule.
it? So the fart doesn't dissipate.
It eventually it will circulate out. But like anything that's in vacuum of space, not vacuum of space, but zero gravity, so you fart, and if you've ever seen like those X-ray kind of things of people farting, like it'll kind of congeal into a massive ball of stink. You can't see it. It's just, as you do different things, if I go through your fart bubble, I'll know that I went through the fart bubble. But so otherwise, it just smells like armpit sweat and farts.
Good test.
Random.
Think about that.
That sounds so awful.
Right. You sat on top of this explodable thing to rocket into space, to go to this big technological thing we've built. You step through an airlock, and it's like, oh, my God. It stinks. And morning breath. That's another thing.
Yep.
Hello, Rob. Welcome to the men's room.
What's going on, fellas?
Hola.
Rob, welcome to the program, the random question. Let's see here. Rob, how old are you?
I am 35.
35. Okay. You're right at that cusp for a couple things, but what hard reality have you come to in life where you realize, you know what, it's not going to be the same? In my case, I could probably think, just basic stuff like this. If I ever see a buddy who's rolling in a skateboard, I know now in my lifetime that it's too late for me to jump on that skateboard and try to remember and act like I can do it again because I'll fall and break my wrist. A reality I've come to figure out is I'm never going to have a threesome. I'm too old. The window is past. That's probably not going to happen.
You can spend money and make it happen.
Yeah, I could. I've given up on the
You
dream.
can't spend money and stay on a skateboard, but you can spend money and have that threesome.
Sure.
That is true.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Spend your money wisely.
Have you come to any hard realities in life based on whatever?
Cheese is expensive. Cheese is delicious, and it's inexpensive.
So cheese is delicious but expensive? Yeah, depending on the cheese you get, man.
Do you eat a lot of cheese?
Probably more than I should.
Do you get backed up because of that?
Constantly.
All right. How much
the price
cheese?
you pay.
How much cheese do you eat a day?
How much cheese? God. I don't know, a quarter of a block.
All right, that's not
Hey,
bad. So you
that's pretty substantial.
You slice it and eat it. Do you put it on crackers? What do you do?
Oh man, anything I can do. I'm like, here's a little soup, throw some cheese in it, spice it up extra.
That's not bad.
Do you ever use cheese as a snack you eat while looking for something to eat? You know what I mean? You pull it out of the fridge, you start eating cheese, but you're looking in your fridge to eat something else.
Yeah, that's kind of the issue with cheese.
Right. To me, it's the thing I grab because I'm hungry. Not super hungry, but I want a snack. So I'm going to eat cheese or any loose lunch meat while I look in the fridge for something to actually make.
Have you ever dipped into your fingers into a bag of shredded cheese and do like the big league chew? I'm going to take a chaw of
Absolutely.
shredded cheese.
Who hasn't?
Dip, you know what I mean?
That's what it's there for.
Yeah.
What's up?
I know what you're talking about, but no, I've never tried the big league chew thing with the cheese. I just
Oh,
like-
come on.
What's your favorite cheese?
Oh God. Tillamook. Like everything they do is good. Extra sharp anything. The Beecher's flagship is amazing.
That is really good.
I'm tracking with it, brother. We could be cheese brothers real easy.
They got like a Jamaican cheese or some crap like that they've got that's pretty good too. And man, I'm not a big smoked fan as far as a lot of different foods are concerned. But if you get a great smoked cheese, man, I can deal with that.
Yeah.
Dude, I had some caramelized onion cheese that was
I'm on the Gouda train right now.
Yeah.
There you go.
Let's
I
see
don't
if people
mind.
feel as strongly about cheese as they do onion rings.
Yeah. Reason we asked what's
That Yancey's Fancy Company does like a buffalo cheese. Oh my God, it's incredible.
You mean like buffalo sauce style cheese?
is in bison milk or is in hot sauce?
No, so it's like hot sauce. Like think of like buffalo chicken wings. It's like Yancey's Fancy Cheese. They do like a buffalo nacho flavored cheese. It is unbelievable.
I'm
Okay.
in.
All
I'm
right.
in, man.
I'll try that.
Damn.
Yeah. Cheese and the buffalo sauce?
That's what I mean.
Yeah, generally I thought buffalo mozzarella was just from a buffalo.
Buffalo, right.
That's what I kind of thought too. Reason we asked, what hard reality have you come to in life? A new study found that when a guy's hair starts to thin out, he will not admit it for an average of 2.5 years. And close to 1 in 10 are in denial for a decade or more. They're talking about hair loss in this study. The average guy who loses his hair starts thinning out at age 29. 1 in 14 said they noticed it to start happen before their 21st birthday. 73% said they've had someone tell them they were in denial about going bald, basically just shave it,
Right.
Most of those comments come from people close friends, wives, and girlfriends.
Well, I can't just walk up to a stranger and be like, what's with the comb over?
Of the men who've lost their hair and women, 36% of the guys who've lost some hair admitted it upset them. 31% said it was just annoying. 22% said it just pissed them off. If you did start losing your hair, how would you deal with it? Shaving your head was the number one answer, followed by wearing more hats and dyeing it to look thicker.
Yeah, I mean, I had dreads and realized my hair's thinning. And it's because you couldn't really tell by looking directly there. But, you scratch the top of your head. I'm like, that's all scalp, bro. So I'm like, it's just got to go. I look like a king crab died on top of my head, right? Like legs hanging down. And I'm like, this is
Dude,
not
I knew a guy like that. But the trick was that he always wore a bandana. Mm-hmm. And then one day I saw it because he had dreads. And
like Jeff on the Tiger Show?
Yeah, exactly. Tiger King. Yeah, same thing. And then I saw him without the bandana, and I was like, oh. Your dreads don't seem as cool now because they're starting all the way in the back of your head.
Right. Yeah.
We used to work with a guy.
Oh, boy.
Now, this guy, I did not realize this because he had a baseball cap on every day, which is not unreasonable. So do I. So does Mike. So do a lot of people, right? No big thing. But when you looked at him, he had, as our coworker VD calls it, duck ass. Right? Picture like a duck's butt. His hair came out of the bottom like that. Right. So it looked like his hair was at least thick, like yours, right? So you have thick hair. So you go like, oh, all right. Now, I never saw how bald he was up top, but apparently this was a real sticky situation for this guy. So I don't want to give up too much information. But at the station he worked at, based on his job description there, he had the opportunity to go to dinner with some other people and a very, very, very famous singer, okay? And this is a guy who was in an insanely popular band at the time, has had a remarkably successful solo career. We've met the guy before. The guy is cool. The guy is chill. Anyway, this dude's going to go to dinner with him. We're like, oh, dude, you'll have a blast with him. This guy's great. So they get to a rather expensive restaurant, as the story goes, and one of the things at this restaurant, their dress code, just no hats inside. Right? I mean, this is a high-dollar joint. Mm-hmm. And he melted down and freaked the F out in front of this lead singer, in front of his coworkers, in front of the restaurant, like, hey, I refuse to go in if I can't, keep my hat on. Because he didn't want to expose his head. I didn't realize it was that bad. So we get wind of this, and I'm like, man, there's got to be a way we can see his head. So this was the plan we came up with. It never came to fruition, but we were willing to do this. So there are various radio conventions around the country. And we said, look, let's buy him a ticket. We will buy his plane ticket, all right? And we'll go to the convention with him, right? We do this under the guise of, hey, let's go talk radio. We're radio nerds, okay? But we realize he would have to go through TSA.
Yes.
And the TSA,
you got to take it.
You got to take. So we were going to buy a plane ticket. We didn't want to hang out with this dude. We just wanted to buy a plane ticket so we could see his head and make fun of him. But it never came to pass.
No.
So I never saw his gnarly head.
And if he found out that he had to do that, he probably would have taken a Greyhound bus there.
Did you ever see his head?
No.
Yeah, I didn't either, man. I really wanted to. Hello, Ken. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bichola.
Hola.
Ken, welcome to the program. And a random question.
How y'all doing tonight?
We're doing great. How are you, brother?
Good. It's a nice night in Missouri, man.
Oh, you're in Missouri.
How hot is it?
Yeah. It is right now 72 degrees, and we are freaking out, man.
But is that too cold?
It's supposed to be in the 90s and high humidity.
Brother,
we're doing good.
We were 62 this morning.
What's that?
So we were about 62 this morning. I think our high is like 75 today, and it's not going to get much warmer the rest of the week. How humid is it?
Right now, we're only running about probably 40%.
All right, that's not bad at all.
For August in Missouri.
That's what I'm saying.
Actually, August in Missouri, we're up in 80% and high 90s.
Have you found that you can use less deodorant, or that maybe your friends don't stink as much as normally they would this time of year?
A lot of my friends just stink dirty, man. I don't know what they use.
Let's go with this random question for you. What did you hit with your vehicle? What have you hit with your vehicle?
I hit a doggone bear in a trail in Oregon in 1968.
Jesus.
There was I was out trail riding at night on a 175 Honda. And I noticed the fact because this was the last day of school and next day was vacation. And I was cruising along, and it was about 11:30 at night, and this doggone black bear, and he was a big guy, and he walked right across the doggone dirt bike trail, and I jabbed him with the front fender right in the side, went flying over him and the bike, landed next to a doggone stump, broke my freaking nose, and the bear just took off scared to beat hell and didn't do nothing.
I bet he was. He just got hit by a motorbike going about 35 miles an hour.
And I'd be glad that he left.
Did the bear cushion the blow from the damage to the bike?
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It just bent the dang fender, and I went. We stopped the bike, bent the fender down, and I went flying over the bars and just about hit a doggone log from a down tree.
Yeah,
And-
good times.
But
How about in your adult life, man? You ever crash anything with your car?
let's see. Yeah, I backed into a doggone big old oak tree once.
All right. So you and trees are not friends. Okay, that's all right.
Yeah, I was smoking too much ganja and didn't look what was behind me, and it was there.
Tell you what, those rear cameras are a lifesaver. I think all cars should
Boy,
have
they've
those
been a
damn-
game
things are
changer.
great.
They really, really
They
are.
really help.
I can see what I hit.
Yeah, exactly. Ooh.
Oh, hit backing into something is just the worst.
It is.
Because you're like, oh, God.
I know.
Reason we asked, what did you hit with your vehicle? Several members of a family were left with severe injuries after their boat collided with a humpback whale off the coast of Juneau, Alaska. 4 boaters were outside of, Auk Bay on the west side of
I'm so
Colin
glad you're
Island.
reading that. I read that earlier. I'm like, I don't know how to say
The whale unexpectedly surfaced in front of the 21-foot skiff, and the operator could not avoid it. They returned to shore and went to a hospital where 2 people were treated and discharged the same day. A third person was flown to another hospital for treatment. They haven't yet received any reports of an injured or dead humpback in the area, but I guess basically this thing came out of the water and flopped right on top of the boat.
Jesus. I mean, what are you going to do?
More of the random question coming up. 206-421-ROCK.
Oh, fiddlesticks!
What, Wilbur?
We just got hit and I think my back has all been out of shape.
You gotta talk with those whippersnappers at the Advocates Law Firm. They're the best injury lawyers around.
What? Pipe down, Clarence! Abner's telling me about the lawyers and the advocates. So what happened to you, Abner?
I was walking across the street with the light when some young punk came screeching around the corner. I lost a toe.
What? Shut it, Clarence! If you get injured, the advocates get results. AdvocatesLaw.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
The men's room is in progress. 99.9 KISW and KISW HD1 Seattle.
Your guess is as good as mine on the way to categories. So today it'll be your favorite seafoods and Tom Hanks movies.
You should have asked your favorite onion rings.
Apparently
Or
so.
cheese. I'm telling you, man, people are going nuts with this stuff.
Oh,
But
hey, by the way,
Yeah.
how come you never see cheese involved with an onion ring?
I don't know.
You're right. There's no reason they should be mutually exclusive. They could be together for sure, right?
People have cheese fries all the time. You have poutine, this and that. But like,
Yeah,
as that guy
mozzarella
was
sticks,
talking
for
about
God's sake.
how much he loved cheese, I was like, hey, you don't really see a lot of onion rings getting involved with any type of cheese.
And
Not
you said
with
you
cheese.
even had, the caramelized onion cheese.
Correct.
Right. So we know
Okay.
onions and cheese can work together. Hell, you get a cheeseburger with onions on it.
You get a cheeseburger with an onion ring on.
Oh,
Look, man,
that's
I'm
what
just
talking
saying
about.
right now, the head chef might have cheese in here on Thursday because from what I can see, there is this buffalo style
What is
cheese.
it? Yancey's Fancy?
Look at this right here. This is it, right? Closest location. We can go get that real quick and bring it in here and have some delicious cheese for the head chef, right? Mm-hmm.
That's the what? Buffalo?
Hot stuffed
Hot buffalo?
buffalo wing cheese. Oh my God! Mozzarella onion rings.
Where is that?
Get the hell out of here! Wow.
Oh, Bite Me doesn't help. I have no idea where
best
that
of
is.
both worlds right there. Look at that bad boy. I'd order that in a heartbeat. You kidding
Oh,
me?
my God, that looks good.
Okay. Do we lose everybody again?
Yes.
All
In the
right.
meantime, yeah, we also had a technical problem. But we've been
Yeah.
looking at cheese and onion rings.
Okay. As we reset the phones, call back 206-421-ROCK. I'll ask you guys another random question.
All right.
By the way, just a real quick shout out. Someone says Boar's Head makes a horseradish cheddar cheese that is amazing on a French dip. I have had that before. Side note, I don't know that I've had anything from Boar's Head that is not awesome.
Okay.
Agreed.
Mustard, cheese, name it.
Let's go with this one. What was stolen from your front door or porch? What was stolen from your front door or porch, either after it was delivered or just something that was sitting out?
My daughter, she's going from kindergarten to first grade, ordered all of her school supplies. And when you're a kid, the first time you're getting school supplies, there's
deal.
nothing more exciting. Right, so it's crayons, pencils, her notebooks, whatever all the crap was. But anyway, at this time, across the street from my house, you had all the like Winnebagos and everything, and all these guys would do whatever it is they're doing, but that's where they lived.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but everyone started losing crap off their front doors, and we knew it was them. We knew goddamn well. But We had it delivered. It's one of the first times I even really interacted with Amazon, right? So, but we order all this stuff for my daughter. She is super excited. We find out it's been delivered, then realize it was stolen. And because it's my kid, you just have a different reaction. So I said to my wife, I said, look, I'm just going to go down to the street, and I'm just going to confront these people and just say, look, I don't know what's going on, but you can't do this. And she said, well, okay, but look, be careful, and please, just be cool.
Oh, I'm sure that's exactly what you did.
I was like, baby, I got this, man. So, and my plan, in my mind, I'm like, just be diplomatic about this. And I can't explain it. As soon as I laid eyes on anyone, like all the rage you have for violating the sanctity of my kid, it came out. Mother effort. So, long story short, threatened everybody there. And, of course, everyone denied they had anything to do with it, which is what I fully expected they would do. So I said, okay, that's great. I'm telling this to everyone here right goddamn now. If anything ever disappears off of my front porch again, I'm coming down here and burning down all your ass and killing all of you. I don't care who is responsible. I will assume all of you are. The next day, 4 of those vans left.
Oh, really?
They were terrified because I lost my mind. It's one of those things where sometimes when you try to be a badass, you realize you have bitten off more than you can chew, and all you can think is, how do I get out of this? Because I'm not really feeling my words. I was feeling my words more than my words even meant. Like, I was absolutely homicidal. And again, it was over like Crayola crayons and some number 2 pencils, but it's my kid.
Right.
And I lost my effing mind, man. And all these people are like climbing back in their house. And so I felt good about myself, walked back up the driveway. My wife's standing there with her arms folded like, Jesus Christ, man. I could hear you all the way in the house. And it was a pretty good distance away. I'm like, yeah, I was like, I thought it was going to be cool. It didn't work. I absolutely lost my mind. And I clearly overreacted to the whole thing, but I meant every word coming out of my mouth in that moment. But nothing disappeared again. Like I said, probably half of these vans or whatever, they left. I was like, all right.
Okay.
And my neighbor even thanked me for that. He's a real cool guy. He's one of these guys. He helped found Hemp Fest, so he's that dude, right? And everything's like this, man. And he's like, he gets a smile on his face. I heard you the other day, man, talking to the guys at the end of the road. I said, yeah, I probably shouldn't have done it like that. He's like, no, man, F them, dude. They've been stealing crap for a while. But he's like, I loved it, man. I was thinking about calling the cops. He's like, F them, I'm calling you. All right.
Nice work.
Dude, I lost a camper chair off my balcony.
Right. It's always, not me. I put on my helmet. I got my gloves on. I'm getting ready to go outside, get on my scooter. My scooter is right in front of my front door. I walk outside. I'm like, did I park at someplace? Did I go anywhere last night? Did I leave this like at the PI or something? Where the hell's my bike at? I couldn't figure it out. Like, did I park it in the front of the street? Did I park it in the back of it? No, it's gone. It had been stolen.
How long did it take you to absolutely realize, like, it is stolen?
I had to make sure that in my mind I knew that there was no other way that I wasn't jumping to conclusions on this. Like, I would be the idiot who would park out front just because that's where I found a spot or whatever.
Sure.
Walk around a couple times like, you sons of bitches.
Mm-hmm.
And, it was gone.
Dude, it was the same thing with my camping chair. Like, I knew I left it out there, and obviously somebody stole it.
Sure.
I could have been street person, could have just been a drunk guy walking home. Mm-hmm. But I did the same thing. I looked through my apartment 4 times. Like, wait a minute, maybe I brought it in.
Did I leave it someplace in somebody's car on the way home, or you know what I mean?
I was always waiting to see it one day, just like in an alley or something.
Is it the kind that you would recognize? No, just like Budweiser or anything like that. Because I know you, so I think
Miller Lite, right? It was a Miller Lite folding chair,
right? It's impossible that it did not say something.
So you're exactly right. It was a Miller Lite folding chair,
and somebody came and stole it.
Yeah.
You know why? Because it was a Miller Lite folding chair.
And it was just sitting there.
If it were plain, they'd have left it alone.
Reason we asked what was stolen from your front door or porch after it was delivered, we go to Montclair, New Jersey, where the squirrels are getting smarter and a little nuttier, they say.
Oh, boy.
New Jersey woman was hoping to enjoy her delicious Domino's pizza, only to find that a squirrel got its hand on a slice or 2 of the pie. The moment was caught on the woman's Nest camera. The pizza box was left on the porch via the contactless delivery option of Grubhub, when moments later, the hungry squirrel walked over and gnawed a hole into the box, pulling 2 slices out. The woman ran out to find the squirrel with the pizza, yelling at her husband, "That squirrel stole our pizza!" Fortunately, she was able to get a refund from her delivery from Grubhub, where she ordered the pizza from, according to the New York Post. But yeah, it's a pretty good camera angle there of the squirrel running off with a couple pieces of
You
pizza.
can't blame the squirrel.
They smell it a mile away. It's Domino's pizza.
It's
Freshly
Domino's
delivered to your
pizza.
door.
Like I said, you can grab some dirty-ass acorn laying on the ground or a slice of pizza. I get where the squirrel's head's at.
Yeah, he didn't even wait for it to cool down. He probably burned the inside of his little squirrel mouth.
You know he burned the living hell. If she can take any solace in this, is that squirrel lit its mouth on fire. By the way, Someone chimes in. There's a place in Vancouver, British Columbia that has mozzarella sticks with onions inside.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I'm in. Hello, Joe Dredd. Welcome to the men's room. Hola.
Joe, how you doing, man? Welcome to the program.
That was a great story with the squirrel and the pizza, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't us.
How you been doing through the pandemic, man?
I'm doing all right. I'm tired of wearing a mask, but I did find a semi-regular job, so I don't have to drive Uber all the time, and I love that.
That's very cool. What about your band, man? Are you guys able to get together and practice? Do you do it like virtually on Zoom or something like that? Or are you able to?
No, we have set up so we could rehearse online, but our new singer lives in Spokane, and he comes over about once a month. So we do have once a month rehearsal, but there's no place to play until next year.
See,
so,
Joe, now that's the thing. And honest to God, I thought about you this weekend. Just a quick side note. Kyle Court hits me on text. So me, Kyle, and Glenn, we're all talking. But I thought of you because I'm like, this is about the time of the year that Joe has set up whatever kind of benefit you're going to do. And we're getting together to go play on a day that's way too hot to be doing it, but we're going to do it anyway. Yeah.
Yep. Seattle Breast Fest got canceled because of COVID.
I know. Trust me, this is the time. Like at least once a year, Joe puts together a benefit, which is always awesome, man. And congratulations on doing that, by the way. But this year, not doing it, it actually sucks. It's just a good time when everyone just gets together and drinks way too much.
I just like watching your band, man. At Red Festival, I was like, you guys sound, almost exactly, it's exactly.
You guys were dead on.
It was absolutely an amazing show, so just know that.
Thank you so much for the compliments. I can't tell you how much that means to me.
Well, it'd be cool if we could see you again sometime. Do something about this COVID, will you?
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, definitely will.
Okay, well, other than COVID, let's go with this question. Who ruined the party, Joe?
Oh boy, I'm going to have to think now because there's been so many years. Actually, the police ruined the party. How's that?
They do a lot, don't they?
Yeah. That's everybody's having a good time, and then a cop shows up out front, and then the lights start going, and that's then it's over. What are you gonna do?
And I wish you could explain to the cops, like, listen, you're probably right, but understand this. Some of the ingredients to a very good party are loud, good music and illegal drugs. And we understand both of those are a problem, but, like, we're keeping it contained here,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fact. Turn the volume down, go to bed, get these cars out of here. Reason we asked who ruined the party. A northern Michigan restaurant lost thousands of dollars in sales after a busboy said he had COVID-19. It was heartbreaking, says David Haritro, who's the manager at Timber Seafood and Steakhouse, where this thing was supposed to go down. First and foremost, I worried about my staff. I worried about how do they have COVID? Do I have COVID? Timbers was forced to close Friday and Saturday after the COVID-19 claim and had to cancel a wedding rehearsal party. Timing was terrible for the restaurant, which is trying to recover from the pandemic during the peak summer season after months of being closed. This is our second busiest weekend of the year. Apparently, though, the employee, the busboy, he simply wanted a day off. So he lied to his manager so he could get it. He confessed to the lie on Saturday night. He doesn't know what he did, and I feel terrible for him because this is a young kid that made a mistake. But this is now a police matter, as a wedding rehearsal party dinner was called off and everything else because the guy just wanted a day off, but he lied about having COVID. So they had to shut the entire restaurant down.
I mean, I'm not sure how it's a legal issue, and I'm sure it is on some level. I don't get how it is, but that does suck for the restaurant. Just, you overcharge for everything if you say it's for a wedding. Mm-hmm. Flowers, food, same thing with that. So they were going to make a ton of money on this rehearsal.
Yeah.
It was the easiest money you can make. If someone says we're getting married or doing a rehearsal dinner, like, cool, let's jack up the prices and hook them up.
Not only that, but they had just opened up with the distancing guidelines. This rehearsal was in its own private room. So they already had a portion of the restaurant, but the normal restaurant was back to working conditions as far as, tables that set apart from each other and everything else. So they were ready to reopen again, and that was the problem with the whole thing was, yes, they did have this wedding rehearsal thing going on in a private room, but the restaurant, it was still packed full of people, or at least it had been leading up to that weekend.
Also, it's just, different. Anybody can fake sick, but, you can't with this one.
You can fake sick, but just don't say it's this.
Can't call them, I don't feel good today, I got cancer.
Random.
Tell them I got to go to the doctor. I got chlamydia. I mean, just anything. Okay, maybe not chlamydia. Hello, Matthew. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola.
All right, Matthew, welcome to the program. Random question. Let's give you this one. Matthew, what would you say is or has been in your lifetime one of your hobbies that you really enjoy?
Hobbies.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, first of all, did you get corrected on Auk Bay?
I read it here, Auk Bay. That's what you were trying to pronounce.
Oh, Auk Bay.
Auk Bay.
Oh, thank you, brother. Yeah.
Auk Bay.
I used to live there.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's how you know how to say it.
Yeah. How hard was it to
Beautiful
fly
place.
into that airport, man? I heard that's just a brute landing.
Juneau Airport, they use it in flight simulators for pilot training because it's one of the toughest in the world.
I'm pretty sure that what I heard from my buddy Charlie was that everybody who is a pilot, maybe, or my buddy Mark, that on Alaska Airlines, they have to learn how to fly and land there because the side wind is so crazy that you land the plane like the videos you see where they're sometimes coming out at Heathrow where they're sideways. I guess Juneau is that way, but with a shorter runway.
Then remind me to never fly to Juneau.
Yeah, exactly. I heard it's just like when you get there, you're like, thank God I'm here. I can't believe I made it alive.
Number 10 for sure.
Yeah.
It's a big factor. It's a lot of fun, especially if the winds are blowing right down the channel, what they call the Taku winds.
So what would you say is your hobby?
Hobby? I mean, my very first hobby in my life was collecting baseball cards.
Like so many of us. I feel like that's the gateway into collecting
Do
things.
you still have them?
I know I was a fool when I was 21. I had a date with a hot blonde. I was broke, so I sold all 15,000 of them sight unseen for $150.
$150.
Yep.
And what do you think, knowing what the cards were you had at that point in time, the value would be today?
I out of this world. I had like Carlton Fisk rookie cards, Joe Morgan. I mean, all the stars of the 70s, George Brett. I had some 60s cards too, like Yastrzemski and some of those guys. All the Yankees, the big Dodgers, the big red machine back then, Oakland Athletics.
If you had from about
Baltimore,
1968 to 1976, you got a lot of good cards in those collections if you had them. And if you had anything before that, then you're rich. I mean, like those cards with Willie Mays and Mickey Mantle and all that crap. That was Roberto Clemente.
How did the date go?
It wasn't really for money. It was just for the love of baseball cards. Throw the gum away and we played games with them.
What about the date?
Today?
No,
the date
you
you
sold
went on.
all those baseball cards, got $150 to go out on a date. Tell me you at least got laid.
No, this is the worst part. I took her to the Billy Idol Faith No More concert, Halloween night.
All right.
Great show, Halloween night. Got home, she made me sleep on the couch.
Oh.
You're kidding me. What do you got to do? That seems like a pretty good night.
That would be Faith No More, Billy Idol, Halloween night, and dinner to boot.
So when you got back to her place, you were dancing with yourself?
I was man without a faith.
Okay.
Oh, well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you. Reason we asked, what is your hobby? We
That's
brought
epic.
this up. Yes, it is. Reason we asked, what is your hobby? We brought this up before, but it's getting worse. Over 900 people now in 48 states have been infected with salmonella. Do you know why, Ted?
Spinach.
They're still hugging their chickens.
They're back and they're hugging their chickens and their ducklings.
What?
The outbreaks are not uncommon for this time of year, but apparently this is getting out of hand. As of this week, 938 people have been infected with salmonella in 2020. Cases have nearly doubled in the last month. 473 people got sick since the last case report in June, according to the CDC. At this time last year, about 700 people were sick. 2 people died. The presumed culprit in the outbreak is poultry. Public health officials interviewed over 400 of the people who got ill with the salmonella. 74% had said they had been in contact with live chicks and ducklings. Since the first illness was reported in January, the CDC said it's identified 15 multi-state outbreaks. So far, 3 of them, found in Kentucky and Oregon, have been linked to poultry and their coops, including fatalities.
Now listen, I can sympathize with someone wanting to hug a chick, right? Because they're still cute, that little fuzzy thing. It's like a puppy, a kitten, babies, when things are young, other than flies, which are maggots. But generally when something's young, right, it's cute, and then they get ugly. But a chicken, to me, is just an ugly bird. Tasty, I'm sure they're fine, but not real huggable.
No. And one thing they say, we go back.
Even peeps they make look like chicks. They don't make them look like chickens.
Yeah. I really don't. I mean, look, my grandfather was one of those guys who was just a complete hand washer all the time. That was his thing, man. He was just one of those guys. He worked for the post office. Everything was dirty.
That makes
rubber
sense,
bands.
yeah.
He washed his hands constantly, and he thought it would keep him from getting sick. Well, now that we know about the pandemic and everything and how important it is to wash your hands, CDC is saying the same thing if you have poultry. It says, please frequent hand washing after handling any animal or any object in their environment, like eggs. Even if you handle eggs, that is the best way to prevent infection. CDC also encourages poultry owners to refrain from kissing and snuggling with their chickens or letting them inside their home. It's
Gonna
also,
give you a snuggle, little chicken.
It's also best to keep children younger than 5 away from the animals altogether, as young children are the ones to become more severely ill from the infection.
Is this like city chicken people?
Yes, this is people who have
More
their
than
chickens in
likely.
their backyard.
Like people, I think generally that live on farms and have chickens, the chickens serve a purpose, but it's not to be hugged.
Yeah.
And then a lot of city chicken people, they just like hugging their chicken.
Yeah, man. I mean, I guess they can't fight the urge.
Yeah. If you live out in the boonies, you can hug your pig, you can hug your cow.
You think it's safer to hug a pig than a chicken? I mean, if you just had to
Well,
guess.
pigs are friendly.
They can be.
Yeah. Cows are pretty docile for the most part.
There's a video of that woman being chased by cows.
That is true. I just know that people like to hug their little pet pot-belly pigs.
Sure. I'd hug a pig. I don't think I'd want to hug a cow.
Mm-hmm.
I have no desire to hug a cow.
Do you think the ham sandwich at Potbelly comes from a potbelly pig?
That would be perfect.
That would be great. It was somebody's pet. Now it's a delicious heated sub. You are listening to The Men's Room.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.